the phone rings. You pick it up, it's a reporter. You look at the clock, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What does that mean? 9 times out of 10, that's a reporter who's trying to get a quote from you on a story that's already been written and baked. And odds are that's not going to be a good story for you, because someone's already supplied the narrative and the frame, and it's typically your opposition, your competition, or some kind of antagonist. So you're going to have to think on that call on how to mitigate an oncoming bad situation. So how do you do that? First thing you do is you ask the reporter straight up, who have you spoken with? More times than not, they'll share with you who they've spoken with, and you probably will get a really good idea where this story is going based on that answer. So, but if they don't tell you, then you just ask them, well, what do you know about the topic, and try to explore the depth of their knowledge. Because let's face it, reporters are sketch artists. They're not painters, so they're going to be very superficial, but it's still good intel to get. And also, if they don't share that much information, then you really have a better sense of the adversarial relationship you have with that person on the other side of the phone. Third tip is ask them when their deadline is. It's about 3:05 in the afternoon now in this call, and they're saying, well, I got another 45 minutes, I have to file it. That's also telling you that the story is, getting your quote is just really an afterthought, and so therefore you're not going to have that much to work with. And that's why you go to the fourth tip and see if you can speak to them on background. Background is another term for off the record. If you can get them on background, then you can now start sharing cautiously information and give more of a context to the reporter, so you can get more info out of him or her. And generally that works. But if they don't want to go on background, once again, that's another check in the box that this is a very hostile interview, and so you got to keep working it. The next tip would be offering your information to counter the information that they've been provided. Start creating doubt in that conversation with the reporter, and saying that they don't have all the facts. They have the half-truths, and our truth will give them more balance in their story. Because there's still journalists out there who are concerned about whether or not they're accurate, or they get egg on their face. And if you got a little bit of traction there, then even one-up it by providing other folks to be interviewed, experts, partners, vendors, academics that may be in your wheelhouse. And if they bite on that, then what you're doing is watering down the prior quotes and column inches per se, and now adding not just your voice but other voices to bring more balance and more persuasion, if you will, in mitigating the potential negative here. And lastly, get ready to give a comment. Obviously, no comment or can't be reached are just compounding negative. So this conversation that you've had that now went for 5 to 10 minutes, you should have been able to formulate a concise quote that will get you through this story and prepare you to for the next series of counter communications that's going to be expected. So if you follow these tips, it'll empower you in a negative conversation to at least mitigate what you can, and get intelligence that will help you and your team for subsequent action.